Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Classic Tycoon here, and we're back for our island hopping series, City Skylines Remastered on Xbox Series X. So we've got our downtown going, and we just purchased all this land up in here, so we're going to want to start expanding out this direction today. We've got a nice mountain area here. So what we need to do is basically just kind of start making some slow steps, or taking some slow steps to get out into this area. This is a huge amount of land where we're going to have some very high density and really start shooting up our population. Right now our population is sitting at 15,911. So we'll see what it is at the end of this episode. It'll start to really skyrocket, I think, once we get to that larger island. So now we've got all this extra area. I think we're going to want to start filling in this island right here. This is actually really our starter island where everything originated. And we'll expand it just to fill in both sides of the island, start getting some population density going. There's a nice lighthouse there. And then we're just going to, take some steps to start working our way over to the larger island today. So the first thing I want to do is dive into this island right here and just build a little roadway network, being able to allow us to put in some more residential area here. So let's start filling that out. This island is in kind of a weird spot with the highway going over it. So we're going to have to build a bridge over the highway connecting the island, the two segments of the island together. I don't really want to build like an interchange right here that connects the roadway to the highway because, well, that would just be a little bit awkward. You don't want that many exits next to each other as we reach the next level, which gave us a nice money boost right there. So there's going to be our bridge. I did try to, have some more bridgeway connections here, but it just wasn't working out. I would have to delete some of the highway if I wanted to connect more bridges together right there, which would be nice, would be more ideal. If I was more worried about this being like a really efficient, really good city, I probably would try and do something. But I really am just trying to complete this scenario, so I don't think it'll be too bad. If it does cause traffic problems in the future, we can always go in and fix it. Alright, so I think that's good enough for our needs for this area. So we can start filling in some zoning here. So we've got some zoning along the highway that we need to take care of. I'm thinking office space there because we don't want to deal too much noise pollution on our citizens that will be living over in this area. As you can see, also, we're having some issues with goods and customers, not enough customers to buy our goods. We're going to ignore it for now. We'll see if we can address that later on. Sometimes these problems go away just as you continue to build out the population and control your city. Some things just arise as you're, naturally as you're going along. And maybe filling out this area with some zoning will help mitigate some of that issue. So on this side of the highway, I want to keep it low density. And then when we cross the bridge, I want there to be higher density, like a medium density residential area. And we're just going to intersperse some commercial along this collector. That is a 4-lane road. It's kind of just acting as a slow collector for this area. We'll put some low-density commercial along the highway right there, so that the citizens aren't getting the brunt of the noise from the highway. And then, like I said, on this side, we're gonna probably put office along there. Also, just filling in some city services. So we put in a high school. We're gonna need death care, health care, police, fire, all that stuff. So that's what I'm throwing in right now. And what's nice is that bridgeway connection is connecting all the services together for both sides of this island. So we should be okay to just have one set of city services between the two sides of the island, even though it's kind of separated by that highway. Realistically, I would expect, probably at least another elementary school. And we might have to do that in the future, but I think we're okay for now. Just get the basics covered. What is nice once you reach this point of the game is you've got plenty of income coming in, so I'm not really, limited by my cash right now, which has been really the one thing setting us back. Obviously, with all the disasters at the beginning of the series, not having any money was a big issue. But now we've got plenty of money coming in, and we should be good. Okay, at this point, I want to build a cargo harbor somewhere in the city. I really wanted it right here, but it's not connecting to our outside connection line. So we're not going to be able to put it there, which is unfortunate. I don't know why the game is designed that cargo ships can't, go around some of these islands. It has to have a straight shot connection to one of the lines. So we've got a line here on the southern side. I believe this is the southern side of the city. So I could throw in the line in one of these middle areas, but I just don't want that to cause too many traffic problems. I did consider a cargo airport, but right now it's just a little too expensive. So I think over in this area would be best. Over in this new area, we don't have any. This should not cause any traffic problems, at least for now. We'll see what happens in the future. But this one little island right here does have a nice connection to the outside cargo connection, so that's good. The problem is getting trucks over to this cargo harbor. So we're gonna have to build an interchange that allows trucks to get off of the freeway and get over to our cargo hub or cargo harbor, so that we can start shipping out and receiving goods from outside connections. And so you can see right here, this is where I'm thinking we'll put in our new interchange. You can see this pre-built interchange is just way too big, so we're just going to have to build a custom freeway exit right here. Doesn't have to be too fancy. For now, I think I'll do a normal bridge. But it might be better at some point to do something a little bit different. But again, I'm just trying to get this scenario done. I'm not trying to make this the prettiest city in the world right now. You can see I'm using industrial roadway right here. It's cheap, and the only vehicles that'll be using this road really are industrial vehicles. There's not going to be any residential over here, so they won't be too loud. I am also doing a one-way road. This way trucks aren't getting stuck or they're not clogging up the road after they go into the cargo harbor and have to turn around. And then I'm just trying to think through the best way to build this road to mitigate traffic. So right here I decide, you know, maybe we'll do a 2-lane or a 4-lane road here. And that way we're not feeding too many trucks right into where we need our freeway entrance to be. So I think that this will work nicely. Not the prettiest again, but I think it'll work. Alright, so now why don't we come in here, get the game rolling again, and we'll start filling out some of this residential area. And you can see I'm doing high density over in this area. So there's going to be just some apartment complexes, that sort of things right here. Another reason why I wanted to fill this in is because we need power now over to our cargo harbor. So let's throw in some power lines as this area fills in with buildings. Again, lining the freeway with office space to try and alleviate a little bit of that noise. And once those buildings fill in, that should take care of the power there. Okay, so while we're waiting for that, why don't we throw in the opposite side of our interchange. Again, I don't know how much this design is needed. It might be better in the future to raise up the freeway entrances so we can make use of that side of the island. If we feel like we need it, that's an option. We're having some trash issues right now, and before those get out of control, I want to throw in another recycling center. And we'll have to do some more recycling centers as well as we fill in this area. But hopefully that one will help out for now. This seems to be flowing pretty well for now. Again, once we get closer to that 100,000 population mark, things can very much change. So we'll just keep an eye on it. But it's looking good for now. Noise pollution right here, not great, but not terrible. It looks like it's in a position where it shouldn't be too bad. If we start getting noise complaints, we can always throw up sound barriers on this highway. I do like this lighthouse here, so I don't want a residential building to accidentally destroy that, so I'm going to just remove that. Even though I said I don't care about how pretty the city is, sometimes it's nice to leave stuff like that. And then while we're over here, I think we'll throw in some fishing to take care of our park need in this area. Alright, I'm going to throw in this road right now. We're going to have a small industry over in that other half of that island. Okay. Let's check out our education needs, since that was our kind of main goal in the last episode. You can see over 10% of our population is now highly educated thanks to our university. So I think that's working out really well. We're still having some issues with employment, but really not too bad. Our land values are looking really good now. I think we're growing very steadily here, which is great. I'm a little bit worried about traffic over in this area. We got a lot of trucks going in and out of this industrial area. We'll have to take a look at that in the future. Things aren't too bad right now, but again, as our population rises, these problems are going to become more and more apparent. But traffic flow is looking good for now. Let's see if there's any other issues we need to take care of. We're kind of teetering here with our water and with our electricity. Let's go into the economy. I think we can bump up our electricity fund. And then to kind of balance out our water and our sewer, I'm going to throw in some new water pumping. That should take care of things. Water pollution is steadily going away over in this area thanks to our eco water outlets, or eco sewage outlets, whatever those are called. Just gonna check on traffic over in here, make sure there's no weird stop signs or stop lights. Looks like we've got a cargo ship coming in, so things are running as they should. Traffic flow is at 89% again. Just taking a look at this one section. I feel like that's going to be a problem in the future. But right now, we're okay. It's looking like the entrance to downtown is getting a little plugged up. It's really, really not terrible. But let's see if there's something that we can do to help this flow of traffic a little bit. So the first thing I always want to do is just check out each intersection. It looks like we've got a lot of lights running through here where we want more traffic flow. So let's give right of way to the main road here. Now the problem with this is that traffic is actually flowing up to this main intersection a little bit quicker. So we are just having some backups right here. But this is our downtown area leading to our freeway entrance here, so we're expecting some congestion. I'm going to try throwing in a slip lane right here because a lot of these cars are turning right. I've had some success with this in the past. But it seems like it's kind of plugging up this, the cars that are exiting. I don't really think that this is really adding any benefit. It's actually causing some backups on the roundabout itself. So I don't think the slip lane is the best option for now. We'll remove that. And I think that's flowing a little bit better. Again, we'll keep an eye on this, see if there's something more we can do in the future. Alright, let's get back to this area. Make sure everything's looking okay. Alright. So we do want to build an interchange out here so that we can prepare to fill this area in. You know, we could call this our downtown area as well. I mean, it's going to be huge, but it's it's just going to be another really high density area. So I'm just going to build a basic freeway entrance and exit right here. I could do another roundabout thing, but as of now, I don't think it's going to be an issue. We might have roundabouts leading into our higher density areas coming out of this entrance. Okay, that'll work for now. And we'll start filling in this island in the next episode. We'll have a collector running through the main part of that island, but really it's just going to be a grid. Now, just to finish up things, I want to fill in this little island right here. I think the most efficient use of space is to really just have this, at least for now, as just a cul-de-sac. Eventually, if we buy the land on the other side, we'll have this go, mirroring the highway all the way to our industrial area near downtown. But this is how it's going to look for now. So right here, I'm just thinking about if we need a highway exit going into this small industrial area. The problem with where it is right now is we're going to have a lot of trucks driving through our residential area on our island to the left, and I don't really want that. So it would be nice to have some trucks being able to just enter. Even though these industrial areas are very small, being able to have trucks being able to exit or enter the highway right in this area. Another problem, as you can see right here, is I'm throwing a recycling center right here, which I think is needed. But being able to have the recycling trucks hop on the freeway right here would be very beneficial. And much more efficient for those trucks to be able to get to different parts of the city. The tricky thing is figuring out the best way to do that with such a small area. So I could, as you can see now, just throw in an entrance like this. The problem with this is you're only able to enter on one side of the highway, which isn't the end of the world. It at least solves some of the problem. So if I throw in a two-way highway right here, trucks can get out and back on just by using that single entrance and exit. It does create a very strange right-hand turn coming from the high-speed highway, going into these lower speed industry areas. I don't really like that. That's definitely, I think, project number 1 for the next episode. We'll let it run for now. As you can see, it's not really causing traffic issues at the moment, but it is just very awkward. And it will probably become an issue in the future. But I think that that's something that would be beneficial to the city, is to have an option for trucks to get off and on right there. So again, we will take a look at that in the future. Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for today's episode. You can see we're ending with a population of close to 19,000 when we started with a population closer to around 16,000. So it's steadily going up. We didn't do a lot of zoning today. We should see a pretty big population boost in the next one when we start working on our next high density area. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.